Mr. Owen once remarked that all species on Earth will grow to their full potential except one, and that's human beings. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. It will put its roots down as far as it can. It will produce all the fruit it possibly can. Only human beings are capable of not achieving all that they can possibly be. And why is that? Because we've been given the dignity of choice. G'day and welcome to Becoming More. My name is Willem. Over 30 years ago, I met my mentor, Mr. Jim Rohn. And on this channel, I share the philosophies and strategies that Mr. Rohn shared with me. By being disciplined in the application of those philosophies and strategies, I've been able to live a life on my terms, and I certainly wish the same for you. In this video, I want to share with you 5 of the 10 key strategies I believe are critical to living the life of which you are truly capable, living your life to your true potential, becoming the very best version of yourself. I'll cover 5 in this video and then 5 in the next video next week. Now, the 5th strategy in this video I think is so important that it really does set in motion all the others. However, very few people actually practice this 5th strategy, but we'll talk about that more in just a moment. Now, Mr. Rohn said we can be all of what we are meant to be, or we can be part of who we are meant to be. And unfortunately, many people go through life only being part of who they are truly capable of being. My question to you is, why would you not want to live life to the max? Why would you not want to earn everything you're capable of earning? Why would you not want to visit every country you could possibly visit? Help as many people as you can help. Why not? In 1943, Abraham Maslow published a paper in the Psychological Review called A Theory of Human Behavior. And in it, he detailed what has now become known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a theory on human motivation, what actually drives people. And you can see here in this diagram, there are essentially 5 layers. In the very bottom layer are physiological needs, and then come safety needs. The 3rd one is love and belonging. The 4th one is esteem. And the last one, which we are talking about in this video, is self-actualization, the desire to become everything that you're capable of becoming. Now, the bottom 4 levels are often referred to as the deficiency needs, and the last one is known as the growth need. Now, what Abraham Maslow theorized was that you actually needed to have the bottom 4 in place in order to move upwards towards self-actualization. He later said that that wasn't necessarily the case. However, he did point out that to be motivated enough to become all you want, you really do need to achieve the bottom 4. And it's not a one-way journey. We can actually move between the different levels. For instance, if you go through a divorce and your love and belonging disappears, you're going to find that you're going to be very motivated to find someone new in your life that you can love and belong to. And it's the same thing, unfortunately, with the floods that we recently had here in Victoria. If you lose your property, if you lose your house, that becomes your dominating, motivating need before you actually want to talk about becoming self-actualized or becoming everything you're truly capable of being. So those bottom 4 tiers really need to be met in order for you to become everything you're capable of being. Now, one of the problems I've found that as I speak to people and have conversations with people and say, hey, what's your ideal life look like? A lot of people look at me and go, I have no idea. And so I've actually created a PDF. If you're not quite sure what it is you want in life, if you can't quite say to me, look, here is what my ideal life would look like, then this PDF will help enormously. It asks you 11 questions to help you decide what it is you actually want to do, be, and have in life. So if you're interested in that PDF, I'll send a link down below. You can click on it there and you can answer those 11 questions. And I think you'll find that you'll get a real clarity as to what it is you want to achieve in life, what your ideal version of you would actually look like. So once you've done that and you've decided, okay, this is what I want to achieve, this is what self-actualization would look like for me, here then are the first 5 strategies of how to achieve it. How do you actually go about so that you can achieve that pinnacle of self-actualization that Maslow says only 2 to 3% of people ever really achieve? Let's dive straight in. And strategy 1 is to develop a growth mindset. In her book, Mindset, Changing the Way You Think to Fulfill Your Potential, Carol Dweck says that essentially people have 2 mindsets. They either have a fixed mindset or they have a growth mindset. Now, people with a fixed mindset tend to believe that their talents, their intelligence, where they are right now is set in granite and there's not a lot they can do about it. They believe that their potential is limited. They envy other people, but they never believe they can actually achieve to that same level. So they don't handle criticism very well, and they don't handle feedback very well because they don't believe they can change where they are. They don't want to make an effort to improve their skills. They don't read books because what's the point? They're not going to change from where they are. They really believe where they are right now is where they're going to stay. Now, people with a growth mindset, on the other hand, don't believe that their abilities and their talents and their intelligence are limited. They believe that they can get better if they work on the skills they want to develop. They're not threatened by others, and they certainly don't see failure as a complete failure. They see failure as feedback. What can I learn from this to move me forward? But the key difference between people with a growth mindset and a fixed mindset is that people with a growth mindset believe if they keep trying, if they keep working on a certain skill, they will get better, that the results will come as a result of their efforts. Now, for you to realize your true potential and become the very best version of yourself, you must have a growth mindset. So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is reflect on your day's activities. Reflect on how things are going. And very few people do this. At the end of the day, Mr. Rohn used to say, it's a good idea to play back the tapes. Go back over the day. What did you learn? What went well? What didn't go well? What can you do tomorrow to improve how today went? And if you really want to become the best version of yourself, that's such a critical exercise. You've got to stop, reflect, and go, okay, what am I doing well? Where are the gaps? What can I do better? So that's strategy number 2, reflect and take action on what you learn. Strategy 3 is focus on the big picture. Never lose sight of where it is you want to go. And I've talked about this before, but decide on what are the big rocks in your life. What really matters to you? If you go through that PDF and answer those 11 questions, a lot of those things will become very, very obvious to you. Now, I have my big rocks right here in front of me in my office on my desk. I think it's a really great exercise. When I plan my week out on a Sunday, I have this in front of me to remind me to put time in my week for the big rocks in my life, the things that are really important to me. This is the big picture. This is what it's all about. When it's all said and done, when you leave the planet, did you achieve the big rocks in your life? So that's strategy number 3. Keep the big picture in mind. Now, strategy 4, I'm going to start with asking you a question. Do you run the day or does the day run you? Do you find yourself saying, I just don't have enough hours in the day? Do you find yourself asking at the end of the day, where the hell did all that time go? If that's the case, the day is running you. And you really want to flip that around and get into the driver's seat so you're running the day. One of the things Mr. Rohn taught me, and I've mentioned it in other videos, and I'm going to keep emphasizing it in future videos, is this. Don't start the day till you have it finished on paper. Decide what it is you're going to do with the next 24 hours that you have been gifted. And many people don't do that. They drift through the day. The problem with drift is you cannot drift to self-actualization. You cannot drift to the top of a mountain. You cannot drift to become the very best version of yourself. So don't start the day till you have it finished on paper or in your Outlook or in your Google Diaries. It's so important. It's a point I'm going to come back to time and time again, because in my own personal opinion, that is the reason why many people never accomplish to the level that they can. They simply don't know how to manage those 24 hours. they're not in control of them. Someone else is in control of them. And so that's strategy number 4. Be a master of your time. Don't start the day till you have it finished. Now, before I go on to strategy 5, which I said to you at the beginning, I believe is one of the most important strategies if you're going to achieve that state of self-actualization, being the best version of yourself. If you found this video useful, could you consider liking it and even consider subscribing? It really will help. I release a new video every Friday, and many of them are based on the philosophies that Mr. Rohn shared with me. Okay, so strategy 5 is this. Have a list of goals that you want to achieve. If you don't have a list of goals, you will tend to drift through the day. You will actually drift through the years, and you will never actually become the very best version of who you could be. So everybody has a to-do list, but I would advise you to have a to-be list. Who do I want to be? What will that person look like? So here's a little exercise just to do before the end of this video. Think of something that you would like to achieve, something that you'd like to do or be or have in the next 3 to 5 years. And here's a question for you. How would things change if you were to be able to achieve that? How would your life be different? What would you need to do to start making that a reality? Do you have an image of yourself in that situation 3 to 5 years from now? Can you see yourself doing that or being that? It's just so important to have a list of goals. Now, if you've never done a goal setting workshop, you're in luck, you've come to the right place. I've actually done a video on how to set goals, and that's available right there if you want to have a look at it straight after this one. And it would be great for you to come away with a list of goals that you really want to achieve over the next year. Okay, so there you have the first 5 strategies on becoming the very best version of yourself. As Mr. Rohn would say, living life to the max. Now, please go out and execute on those 5 strategies. I promise you won't regret it, and you will thank me later.